to Puck in the mid lane. Lots of damage as well. There's not that many
10 seconds.
There's not that many burn spells on the side of Comanche right now. It's pretty much the spin and the torrent, which is the only way that can get through the refraction in a good way. Omnislash doesn't. Ghost Ship doesn't. Witch Doctor, I guess the Death Ward can burn through it quite fast as well. Puck has a horrible time playing against refraction. So, this is my TA pick. Also fits pretty well with the two support heroes Team Empire have already. They have insane magic damage with the Disruptor and the Sanking both, and then they have two heroes that does insane amounts of right click damage as well. So they have a little bit of everything. And the last hero to fit it all together, I would imagine is just going to be your like standard standard whatever initiating offlane, or maybe a mech carrier. There's the Darkseer still left in the pool, for example, which would be good with any of these heroes. Good with the Disruptor, amazing vac walls, vac wall combos, good at searching up the lifesteal on the TA, making sure they are relevant, making sure they can keep up with the enemy in every single fight. So I would be surprised if that did not get banned. But I believe Comanche is the ones who have the next pick, so they could be looking to pick it themselves. They also have some wombo combo with like a Vac into Dream Call, Ghost Ships shenanigans, but the Darks is definitely scarier for Empire, so see if they remove it or not. Alright, they decide to ban out the Bat Rider. Also another option, but I don't really see a reason for Empire to pick Bat Rider into Puck. Very difficult to catch with Lasso, and you already have a good lane here against the Bat Rider, so not the best ban in my eyes. Sure, the Darkseer lane against the Jug is also kind of whatever, like the Juggernaut deals well with the Darkseer lane, but the hero itself can just do so much work in this game.
Dire team pick.
And if you don't want that, well, what else would you want? Not Darkseer. Enigma could be an option as a teamfight hero. Kind of hard against Puck though. You could have Sanking offlane and pick... Okay, they go for the Axe. I was going to say Sanking offlane and go for Silencer position 4. Because then you have a much easier way of dealing with the Puck. But I guess you already have Glimpse Static Storm from the Disruptor, so you don't really care too much about the Puck. So the Axe is going to be the offlane hero of choice. Ghostic, he does play a lot of Axe. One of his more comfortable offlane heroes. You can always get good farm. It's a good lane here against the Juggernaut. Kind of difficult against the Tri-lane because I have so much kill potential, but if you ever get rolling with the Axe, then he can very easily solo kill the Jug. When you get that Blink Blade Mail timing, the Jug will always be an easy hero to kill. So it will be a difficult game for the Juggernaut to do what he has to do to win the game. In the meantime though, Comanche, they go for Medusa 5th pick, which is going to be the mid lane here. So they are indeed going to go for that sneaky offlane Puck, which I like a lot. I feel like once you see the TA, that's really when you have to decide whether or not you want to have the Puck in the mid lane. If you have the option to send the Puck to the off lane and have someone else against the TA, I think you should pretty much 9 out of 10 times take that option. Because you want the Puck to have a good lane when he's mid. You don't want him to play against the TA.
5 seconds remaining.
The Medusa is not really going to be much better of a lane against TA, but he can farm against the TA. And at least this means they have a good mid to late game answer for the lifesteal as well as the TA to an extent. Since the Medusa is such an insanely tanky hero, and the ultimate is almost unplayable for the lifestealer in the late game.
Prepare for battle.
Alright. Alright guys, nature called for a second there. Apologies. Alright guys, let's get on the way with this match. Empire versus Comanche. Do it. Do it. Early warding. Let's see. Bottom lane. Kill ward.
30 seconds to
Pretty
battle.
normal to wish to see whether or not the axe is jungling, and if he's jungling you want to just be able to determine, like, see when he goes back and forth from the jungle, so you can kind of shove in the lane when he goes to the jungle just to make him waste a lot of time moving back and forward. Mid lane, that's a very deep lane ward, but they want to have as much vision of the TA as possible, I suppose, so the Medusa can get a good time in mid lane. And the top lane, Puck, a
The
hero
battle
that
begins.
usually needs a lot of babysitting to be able to do anything in the off lane. Depending on how many heroes they commit, it's going to be a lifesteal lane, so there's not really too much you can do in terms of putting pressure on the lane. They just have to pretty much play out the lane. Like, the Puck will probably just use most of his time dodging out the lifesteal, trying to hit him, trying to fall him down and hit and kill him, and get as much experience as he can. He will have to play the Earthshaker kind of offlane role where you get experience, but you don't really get a lot of farm. You don't really do a lot of work in the early game. You just try to get your levels and try to get whatever farm you can. And if you can keep one support here, then that's fine. Honestly, he even goes for the phase shift level 1, so he's going to not really be able to do too much. But I don't mind this because that means he can trade hits. He knows that he doesn't really have to use the illusionary orb in first level, because the lifesteal will never get close enough to use the openings anyway, because you just keep your distance. So he'd rather just make sure that he can trade hits with the disruptor nicely, and just dodging a couple of bullets once in a while is always nice. Pashka's doing a lot of work pressing him and forcing him to use this region, but there's only a couple more Thunder Strikes left for this guy, so he's not going to be able to do that harassment too much longer. Let's see. Roger on the Sand King is going to make a rotation to the bottom lane. He actually farmed and stacked. He stacked one of the camps with the axe and he farmed the other one. So he was being a little bit greedy. He will now move into this hard camp that's also been stacked and farm that together with the axe to secure it. That's a lot of farm going to the side of Empire. Roger, he's getting level 2 for free off of this. The axe is going to be a little bit in danger. He is level 2 himself right now, but Ben comes out on top of him, and that is going to be very difficult to survive. There's no Maledict right now, only level 1 the Witch Doctor. He went for the cask. If he gets some good bounces off, that should be a dead axe. Otherwise, things might change. The axe will be spot on. The Jug getting loads of damage off, a little bit more, and he will get the last click off as the axe will be taken down. In the meantime, Roger, he tried to do what he could to keep the axe safe by stunning the Kunk as well as the Witch Doctor, but that was just not enough. Nothing you can do against the spinning Jug after all, so I mean, you can try to block him, but he was not in a position to, like, borrow in front of the Jug and block him. And even if he did that, he would most likely be the one dying. So I guess at that point it doesn't really matter too much. So either way, Empire's playing it greedy, having Roger just focus on his own levels. He will probably even, like, no, okay. I was gonna say, if this was like a Seitai camp, one of these camps, then he would have probably farmed it on the way back. Then he would get level 3, he could buy his boots, like his full Tranquil boots and whatnot. But since it's a Centaur, it takes too much time to farm with Sandstorm, so he will just walk back to it. This is one of the meta things on Sand King though, getting multiple points in Sandstorm early on rather than getting Caustic. Most people is discussing whether or not 1 point at least is worth it or not, but the second point in Sandstorm can actually do so much work as well in terms of farming camps, so it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard for me to decide whether or not I like the 2-2 build or the 2-1-1 build more. I think if you want to get Sandstorm early, then getting a second point is fine. Then if anything, you would rather want to go like 2-2-1 or something like that. We'll see. Roger, using the Sandstorm in the bottom lane, dodging out a lot of that spin damage. Just get farming back in, but just have those bars back available, he should be able to survive. And he's just making sure that he's securing some of that farm for the axe. The axe will not have to deal with the next spin from the Juggernaut. He does have a Mango available, he does have a Clarity as well, so the Juggernaut can just keep on regenerating mana. But either way, if the Sand King can just tank a little bit of that damage, make them use spells on him, then the axe will have a little bit of a better lane. So So he will be happy with how that went. He will play line in the mid lane, trying his very best to get last hits, but looks like FNE is just dumpstering this lane as 23 last hits and 13 denies with the TA versus the 7 last hits from the Medusa. And this is the pain of playing against a Templar Assassin. He has about 120 damage per right clicks with a reflection damage up. West, the Medusa is sitting on a mere 60. Room will be taken away from the Medusa as well. This Disruptor doing a lot of work. We do have the TA going into position, but the Medusa is just going to walk the other way. He will have to take the long road around and he will be able to survive. But that is one more creep wave being lost of experience from the Medusa, potentially even another one, as he has to take such a long detour around to get back into the lane. And he's also going to be both low HP and low mana, so this is not a fun lane for him anymore. The Kung is going to be moving in and maybe try and do something about it. The puck in the top lane is level 4 right now. Not contesting the Lysiel too much. Only has a couple of last hits in his name, but well, whatever can help. This is going to be nice. It kind of feels like Empire is already getting out of hand in this matchup, though. The Sand King is getting a lot of CS, 15 CS on your support hero. The Axe is getting, well, not necessarily free farm, but he's getting some farm. He's getting a good amount of levels in the offlane. He's keeping up with the puck, and he's also getting more last hits than the puck. So the fact that they're winning the mid lane this hard and they're still getting out in position 4 here with this much farm is insane. The second point Sand Farming doing wasn't so far, would miss it as the Jonah went for the spin in time. The manager is going to do a lot of work with Ghost. It actually does a little bit of that spin because the Jonah thought he was going to go the other way, and looks like he will be able to survive. The last pick of that manager is going to be enough. He actually tried to man fight the Conquer, hoping for another proc of that spin, but did not happen. And despite the Conquer dying, the Axe will have to take a fall first, as Screen will get the last hit. Maybe a little bit too much YOLO from the Axe. He even tries to use a salve that almost got nothing for it. But, well, he tried. He'll not go in on the jug, just harass him a little bit. He can probably get his level 5 before the supports come back into the lane. And just continue to put pressure on this lane. And well, puck in the top lane, as you can see, he's not really having too much fun. The Lysiel is just running him down using his rage drag click. He actually has 3 points in feast, so he's going to be able to. So he's reaching loads of experience. He's doing a lot of damage. He has insane sustain, and he's also going for the Midas Rush. So having those points in feast just means that you can farm the big creeps in the hard camp without having that sustain of an armlet early on. Also, there's no point getting any of your other spells if you're not going to use it to kill anything anyways. Why skill up open wounds if you're not going to kill the puck anyways, right? Point using that. You could go for rage and just use that attack speed to maybe hit the tower a little bit faster, but I don't think that's necessary ever. Okay, Shackle, maybe he has to be a little bit careful. He's taking a lot of damage from that goddamn life steal. GG will play line in the mid lane and trying to recover a little bit as TAs is going back and forth from the ancient, stacking a little bit for himself, enjoying those ancient stacks very soon. Once you start farming those stacks, one of the supports can take over the mid lane, most likely the Disruptor to get his level 6, as the Sand King is already having a lot of fun in the bottom lane. And as I say that, he gets killed in the bottom lane by a Screen, but the Axe gets a counter kill on the Juggernaut, so well worth it. And Ghost Stick, level 6, he's going to continue putting the pressure on. He picks up his Tranquil Boots, and he could even decide to go for a Vanguard this game, as he's sitting on 500 gold on top of the Tranquil Boots, so he doesn't really have any reason to not be a little bit greedy in the lane, as the Sand King is definitely doing a lot of work making sure that this lane works out. He's level 5 on the Sand King as well, which is an insane amount of levels for support here. The supports on the side of Comanche is only level 4, and he's going to get level 6 at a good timing. He will go for a pull here, and that is a triple stack camp. He doesn't actually get the 4th stack off. It's kind of difficult to do that as well. He tried to just stack it one more time and pull through, but that didn't happen. Either way, he can farm it with the Sandstorm. He has level 2 Sandstorm, so he can just sit there and farm it easily. The Axe can make sure that it doesn't get contested by just taunting and shoving away whoever tries to go in and leech that. So I'm sure the second they see a free time, the second they see the supports on another lane, or maybe a second after they kill someone, they will definitely go in and try and farm that stack. Now they're going to be a little bit in danger. Gas bounces onto the Sanking, will only bounce one time before it stops. Ghosted will go for TP out. The Dream Call comes out from the puck as he makes a TP rotation. Looks like Ghosted is going to be a little bit in trouble. Omni Slash will come out to secure it all, as maybe a little bit overkill to use the Omni Slash in that situation, but in those cases, it's pretty much just preying on luck, because if you just hit him and he gets one spin off before dying, then that spin would be enough to get the Juggernaut within the kill threshold for the Cull. So he just made sure that the Axe would die with no problems. I would still say it's overkill, but sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you just want to kill the goddamn person, right? And then, well, regardless of the Axe being dead, the Sand King is definitely just taking over the lane. He's enjoying himself. He's getting all of that farm that the Axe is missing out on, sitting on 22 lasses right now. And, well, this camp might be, well, he's actually pulling the... what he wants to... I guess he wanted to... Do you even want to stack this? Because you know you're not going to farm it. You know it's going to be the Axe or the Sand King who farms it. So I'm kind of confused why this keeps getting stacked so much. But I guess they're just like, okay, we're going to be able to farm it at some point, but they don't really have a good amount of heroes to farm it. I mean, the Medusa could, the Jug could use a spin or two to farm it with a healing called the Healing Ward. I guess the Puck could also maybe farm it, but apart from that, I don't really see how that's going to happen. The Conker is in the top lane trying to get his level 6. We'll have it up very soon. Witch Doctor. Might be a little bit in danger here. The ball comes out, the dunk comes out, and that is a dead Witch Doctor as the Disruptor is trying to chase him. Maybe going for Glimpse. Nah, they don't care about it. There's not really any point trying to go for Glimpse on a Puck, as he can just AWP himself away. So it's a waste of mana, waste of resources. The Axe Illusion. The Axe found an Illusion Rune, and what better way to kill them than having an Illusion Rune to do it for them. So that's a lot of farm being gained, and the Axe will get all of those lasted, so that's going to be lovely. The Sand King is buying a little bit of space. He might die from the Maledict. No, he doesn't feel alive. He gets to borrow a little bit further away. Does he get a TP off? No, he does not. The Illusionary will hit him. The Torrent was a little bit off point, but the AWP will make sure that the Sand King dies. Lots and lots and lots of space, though, from Roger. I mean, despite dying, he makes sure that the camp gets farmed, and that is 4 heroes in the bottom lane just to kill the Sand King. So I'm sure he doesn't really care too much about dying in that situation, and he almost got out. So close. So close. See the Axe in the meantime? Not really deciding what to do right now, but I'm sure he will just go for the early blink now. If you go for Vanguard, it's usually very obvious that you want to do that. Usually it's because you can get Vanguard and then pressure the enemy's tier 1. But I think at this point he's probably just safe off going for the Blink Rush, and that is what he's going to decide to do. He will get it at a very good timing though. Definitely a decent timing. 3-man smoke and coming out to the bottom lane. They want to use the TA very, very early in that fight, and I guess they just want to get a kill on the jump. They go for the spawn. They don't get it off, so the Omni Slash comes out, the boat comes out. That's a good one. And the Axe will be taken out straight away. Raja is going to be a little bit in danger. The Cyclone comes out as well. The Juggernaut should be taken down here from the right clicks of the TA, but okay, will take a little bit more work than he wanted to make off it. Not a clean kill there from the side of Empire, but they do get the Juggernaut kill in the end. And I guess
Dire's middle tower is
at least they can tell themselves, well, he used Omni Slash, right? So we have 100 seconds where the Omni Slash is not going to be a thing that he can use against us. We can use that time to finish the blink without really worrying about being ganked or anything like that. The TA has a DD rune available, which is going to be giving a lot of damage. And he will start clearing camps. He already cleared the top ancient camps once. It's been awarded now, so there's not going to be any more camp stacking in that camp. At least not anytime soon. And he almost has his Desolator completed with his threats. Let's see what else. The Medusa just hitting creeps farming. Let's see the net worth right now. The lifesteal is number 1, followed by the TA is number 2, as the lifesteal sitting on with that Midas. Almost has his armor complete on top of that. He's already taken down the tier 1 town on the top lane on his own, so he's having a good time. Once again, the Pug is making a rotation to the bottom lane. They're trying to go on Roger. They go up with the Illusionary up. Maybe get a kill on him. They use the Dream Call, as once again Roger is just proving so goddamn annoying, not being killed unless you commit loads and loads and loads of spells. They even have to use the spin, they have to use the Dream Call. He's just making so much space in this game. It's actually insane. Like, you might say whatever you want, you know, he's 1-3 and 2, he's dying a lot, but every single time he dies, he is just making them use so many resources for it. And he actually went for the full-on 4-4 skill build, so no points in Epicenter, no points in Caustic. Maybe a little bit overkill, but I mean, you don't really need Epicenter until you have your Blink anyway. That's one of the ways of looking at it. Okay, and go business chapter here, but he does not have another illusion arrow for the next 3 seconds. They should still be able to kill him. Let's see if they get the vision on him, they can glimpse him back. Did they get the glimpse on him? He's trying to cut himself in the yes, he can hold on, he will die no matter what. At least he can buy a little bit of food. He can make a rocket move and just make them use as many spells as possible before dying, and in the end he will get killed by Ghostic. He took a Static Storm with him in the fall, so why not? The Axe will finish up his Blink in a moment though. He just needs to farm a couple more camps and then that Blink is going to be available, so big power spike for the side of Empire.
Regeneration!
Alright, 4k lead on the side of Empire, 7,000 experience lead so far. Definitely looking grim for the side of Comanche.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The lifesteal is going to go for a Sanjin Yasha build next. I don't mind that build. Desolate is the normal build, but the thing is, when you're playing against heroes like Medusa, heroes that can counter you, heroes that can get away from you, you can't really rely on your open wounds to chase people. They would rather just want to be more tanky and have more like movement speed as well as having that maim to slow the enemy. So that's why Sanjin Yasha is maybe preferable this game. Like for example, like Midas, Armlet, S and Y into Assault Crest, so you have lots of HP, you're super tanky, and you still have a decent amount of actual burst damage. Disruptor, no question. Found here on the sidelines, looks like they might be able to play into the team coming from the sidelines. He will pop that static from maybe twice, but the Blink comes out and he will be taking down the Witcher that got killed on the other side though. In the meantime, the Blink comes out from the Axe, the Infest Bomb already being in place. And that is a double kill for FN, with the Lifestealer getting the kill on the Juggernaut with the TA as well. So Blink reveal going into a quick Juggernaut kill, and this is where the Juggernaut's life begins becoming a problem. Sure, the Medusa's farming, you know, he's farming as fast as Medusa can. It's not the fastest farming hero, it's not the slowest. He's just hitting creeps, and he has to just continue doing this until he has the Skadi most likely. He's going for Yasha straight Skadi. This is like the build you go for when you want to be relevant as quick as possible. Not going for the straight Mantis style, but just getting... Well, when you have Skadi, you become very scary. That's the essence of the story. You're super tanky and you do a decent amount of damage. The slow is annoying, of course. But the Juggernaut, he's going to have a difficult time because he's the one being picked off every single time, and every single time he gets killed, you can just see his net worth plummet further and further behind of the lifesteal as well as the TA. And I kind of fear this is going to continue throughout the game. I don't see a way that the Juggernaut can survive easily in the fights, and especially when you have an AFK farm hero like the Medusa, then someone else have to create the space for this guy to farm. And since the offlaner didn't have a good lane, the safe laner didn't have a good lane, then you're pretty much in a position where you can maybe get a few pickoffs from the supports, and if not, then you're probably just gonna have to try and lose as few towers as possible and just dodge out the enemy if you can. Juggernaut, Q, maybe a solo. I don't know if that's a solo kill situation. I don't think he has that much damage, but he's probably just waiting for the Axe. Yeah, he's just letting the Axe get into position, waiting as much as possible. Or they went for smoke actually, so he's going to be able to pop the smoke as well. He's checking quickly. The walls that should be put down, and the TA will take the Axe, will go for the witch does he get the kill fast enough? No, he does not. The Axe actually jumps right into the stun as the Ghost will be hit onto him, and the Omnicide comes out as well. Ghost is going to be a little bit in trouble. He gets a kill on the Witch Doctor, but that is 2 huge kills for the side of Comanche, killing the TA as well as getting the Axe for Witch Doctor. They will take that trade anytime whatsoever. That put the Juggernaut back in a situation where you're maybe not so scared about him ever getting his Mantis style, but that kind of seems like a situation that should never happen. Sometimes people get too greedy, right? Relying on that in this rune. He even saw the Witch Doctor, like he popped the smoke, so obviously he knows that Comanche knows that someone is in front of them. And then he could have very quickly checked the Witch Doctor's inventory and seen that he has a sentry, see that he drops a sentry, and then just blink away. But I guess he was just too slow to react, or maybe he was just too greedy. Just maybe hope that he could get the kill anyways. Yes, play the track. I think MCC will play landing. There's the full public ultimate here. As we do have the life steal popping his raid, trying to go on to the Medusa, but they're going to chill themselves a little bit. They infest the TA, and now they're going to try and take that chase. As the game comes back, they go for the Medusa, and this is round 2 as the fight is going to continue. No more man left in the Medusa. Getting water to a lot of work. Is the Medusa going to be taken out in the round? The Dream Ball's going to come out, and they do get the kill. The Dream Ball does stun up the life steal, and the cast, 2-man cast, is keeping on bouncing between those two heroes. Alright, Medusa gets taken down, the Witch Doctor gets killed as well, the Malady is doing a lot of damage, they get another kill back onto the counter as Roger goes in with that bling and scouts out for another kill for the team, and that is Reed on the side of Comanche. So despite losing a couple of calls a second ago, they still show that they are they're the ones commanding this game. They're the ones that determine how the game goes on, because they have the bling advantage, they have the vision advantage, they have the glimpses, double blink being available, actually triple blink being available. So it's just not a game where Comanche have an easy time doing anything. They just now pick up the blink on the puck so they can finally initiate themselves. But even the blink on puck does not feel like an item that will enable them to take fights on their own terms. At least not 5-on-5 fights. They can maybe look for pickoffs, but I don't think they want to fight into Empire at all right now, especially with the Aegis being available. Like, you know, killing the TA once is already a very, very big ask, but killing him twice? Not gonna happen.
Come and get it! A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Not gonna happen, boys. We'll see, though. You never know what happens. Everything can happen. Empire, 10,000 everything so far. Almost the same thing in terms of experience. The blade mill is going to be completed in a moment from the axe, which means he's going to be able to more or less solo the Juggernaut. Let's see in the background. So again, Sanking actually gets jumped on, as they had a ward here scouting out still Sanking's movement. They went to the X-Mark play, and let's see the Destroyer might just take off as well. Exactly goes to the Dream Cult. Then comes back on him. He's trying to survive here. He fights that. Doing his very best. With his static almost well. At least, well, doesn't really kill the Jug, but you know, he's being annoying. Both Roger and Miposhka, they always when they're about to die, they always just, you know, how annoying can I be before I die? And I guess that's how annoying you can be. It's never ideal to lose 2 heroes without getting anything in return, but I guess tier 1 town on top lane, the TP tower should be taken down as well, as that is a DD Templar Assassin, but he does not want to commit because he doesn't know what's happening right now. He saw the Medusa push the tier 1 town in mid lane, but he doesn't really know where the rest of the team is, so that's why he just plays it safe. He doesn't want to be in a situation where he gets killed with Aegis alone, and then he ends up just losing 2 lives without getting anything in return, so just plays it safe. BKB will be completed very soon. Scan comes out from the Radiant side. They actually scan the Axe very, very nicely down here, so they know he's down here. They know that he's probably with an infested lifesteal, so the question is, do they dodge it or do they bait it? That's the 2 things we will have to see, because baiting an Axe plus lifesteal is going to be difficult, but if they successfully bait them, that is going to be a very big win. I'll see the Juggernaut go to spin the Axe. Looks like he knows that something is up. The Juggernaut is not just showing himself and using spin for no reason, but he might still go for it. Surviving for now, and he actually gets the bait off properly. As Comanche, they punished this move from Team Empire. They scanned them out earlier, so they knew exactly what was going to be happening, and despite the Juggernaut maybe being killed there for a few more spins were to come out, he survives, and well, that's another 2 big core kills. So considering being behind by 10,000 gold and also being behind in Aegis right now, getting that kind of fight is a dream for me. That is a dream.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's
Alright.
top tower is under
See the
attack.
Medusa getting very close towards that Scotty. He's going to have it up in 100 goals. So this is the point where you actually finally can say that you have a Medusa in the game. Because until now, I don't think anyone has seen the Medusa do anything in the game apart from this one time where he used his ultimate and tried to survive but still died. The Scotty will maybe change things. Let's see, we do have Comanche. The way it's not trying to juke around this pretty cool, but Evan is going for the dive either way though. He really wants this kill. Maybe he should use the trap to get vision. Yep, indeed, he uses the trap in the end. Gets the vision. I mean, that just seems like it's like a greedy thing. You don't even want to use the trap because you think he's not going to juke you that much, and then he jukes you insanely much, and then you're like, okay, I'll use that trap. Well, you know, space. Space guy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See, FN pushing the mid lane, still has that Aegis available. The Scotty's doing a little bit of work. It goes in, let's see, it goes in. Davis being able to stand up, comes out, beginning water, doing a lot of everything. Coming down, just taken away. BKB gets caught by FN on that CA. They're trying to burst down the Medusa, but he's so goddamn tanky to get the kill finally. And let's see the tank will activated. Tries the Juggernaut is a little bit in danger. No spin available, no armor, that's no nothing. He gets flinched right back. FN might be taken down the first time, but that's just the Aegis. As the Medusa as well as the Juggernaut is both dead, so Empire taking a very, very risky fight, but it works out in their favor. The puck is going to be picked off maybe on the sidelines. They have a little bit of a jump, 3 seconds, and they can go for the glimpse on the puck. If you get no, they do not. He's out of range. The Busk is not able to get that. See, tier 2 tower gets taken down the mid lane. They're going to the tier 3 tower as well as both the Juggernaut and the Medusa bought out for their items, so they do not have a buyback available. This could very easily be the Rax being lost. Lifer will invest the catapult and start hitting with that siege damage. The Axe goes in for a call on the Witch Doctor. Goes with one shot, maybe doing a little bit of work against the Axe. They go for the Shrine as well, trying to survive. And the Axe will just end up going for a TP out. Doesn't get X marked in time, and he will survive. They get out, they get the tier 3 tower, and now it's just about surviving without losing too many people. FN is sitting invisibly here in the tree line. It doesn't look like they know that. He gets the TP out on the support disruptor as well, so everything is good. As long as Templar Assassin survives, everything is fine. They could have maybe committed a little bit harder to get the Rax as well if they didn't try to go for a jump in the meantime, but either way, it would have been like they would have gotten the Rax after the two calls would have respawned. So it's usually just a safer play to back up, wait for the next Aegis, take shrines. There's loads of things you can do after you take a tier 3 tower. So they can take the shrines. That's gonna be a good amount of gold going their way, and then afterwards they can wait for the Roshan to respawn, get the next Aegis, and then go high ground again.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Alright, looks like Lifesteal's going to go for his Assault Crash build next up. Obviously, no Desolator because the TA has a Deso already. Sanjin Yasha, nice tankiness for him as well. And when that AC is completed, killing him is going to be very, very hard. TA running down to the bottom lane as well, trying to get a Butterfly as the next big item. The Axe is going towards a BKB. And the Disruptor making small steps towards an Aghanim instead. That is a huge item for the Disruptor to get, but it is not without reach because he only needs 1800 more gold before that is completed, so it might actually happen this game. Sanking, Blink and Eel Scepters, the 2 items he's wishing to get. Witch Doctor, not really anything. Medusa trying to get that Mantis Skull next on top of the Scotty. The Juggernaut has his Diffusal Blade completed, and the Puck is trying to finish the Aghanim Scepter, but it's not really been the best Puck game in the world, so maybe a little bit hard to secure that. Mechanism on the Conquer, which is actually a fairly good item to have. I mean, all things considered, the early game considered, having a Mechanism on your position for support is still decent. Right, top lane, let's see. Maybe being a little bit too greedy. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he actually tried to illusionary orb and farm the creep wave. Maybe it lasted the tower or something like that. But that's a greedy play, and definitely does not pay off. He ends up losing his life.
I'll take your tribute.
See? Hours really fly by in these kind of things. Hours fly by. It's already the third game of the day. It doesn't feel like that, but... Maybe in danger, but he does have his BKB available. Looks like they do know that he's there. Goes for the BKB TP out, knowing that he does not want to take any chances about living in the scenario. Nice little sentry was spotting him out there, though. He was trying to be a little bit cheeky there. I'm not sure if they scouted him before he went in this or anything like that, but they had that cool wall, so I'm sure they just saw him go into the wall and they tried to turn on top lane. In the meantime, life can go and they can concentrate. Will be able to survive for now. Goes for the TP back home. May survive, but that mallet, it's got a lot of damage off on him. It's going to pop him once. He needs to get a nice toggle off. Does he survive? Oh, barely surviving. 100 HP left. As that was a little bit too close for comfort, but I suppose as long as you can rage TP out, everything is fine. Alrighty, Roger with his eel slipper completed. BKB on the axe as well. FN does have that butterfly complete as well, moving towards the diffusional blade next, I guess. Well, burning the mana of the Medusa is always useful because, like, his HP is his mana and his mana is his HP, so you might as well just try to burn that as quick as possible. Bloodthorn could also be a pretty nice item, but diffusion blade is not bad. I guess he also maybe thinks that perhaps the Witch Doctor gets a Ghost Scepter or something like that. There's multiple reasons why you would get a diffusion blade. It's just a value damage item in the end. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Bloodthorn is probably the better item because it feels like at this point you have like one slot left, so you kind of just want to get that big damage item. But maybe he's going with Diffusion and then he will replace the Desolator later on with the Bloodthorn, or perhaps even replace his boots with Bloodthorn since he has Butterfly, so he has a movement speed item already. But we'll see. Smoke Gang comes out, they go in, they make a big move, let's see who they're going for. I'm not so sure. Look at that seems to be the play that tries to bring it down. They got off, Static Storm, nice boat coming out, but most of these heroes they have BKB, 3 of them are BKB, so the boat only hits one of those 4. And Medusa will be picked off. The Witch Doctor will be taking out, trying to get that mana bit and Death Ward off. Bim's back on the conga. He's going to be right back into the frying pan as he will be killed as well. The Bug is trying to do as much damage as he can, almost killing the Sand King, but it's just not good enough. Shackle will have to get back in the base and just, well, protect as much as he can. As there's 3 people dead, no buybacks available, and Empire, they're looking to get at least one set of frags, most likely more than that, as that's a lot of time without your Medusa. The Juggernaut is available, but there's only so much a Jug with Mantle Diffusion can do at this point in the game against a TA with Refraction, against with Butterfly, against a Life Steal with AC. There's just no way that he can kill them. That is 2 sets of frags being taken down. A lot of damage being done to the buildings, and let's see, that is going to be a 20,000 everything so far inside of Empire. Looks like they know what's happening up here in the top lane. They saw the Juggernaut pass by the shrine area, so they have a pretty good idea of what's happening up here. They will go in, they'll use the ult set. It looks like they'll be able to get close up. Oh, they missed the taunt! He messes it up as he actually uses it too early, so they don't get the taunt on the Jug. So that could have been the game-ending move, just killing the Juggernaut there and then moving in again. Did he have buyback available? No, he did not. So if he was killed, that would have been insane. But either way, let's see. Axe goes in, gets the 2-man taunt off, tries to give a little bit of space for that Roshan to be finished up. They get the Aegis on F, and Coulting might drop down. He's taking a lot of damage, but that BKB is keeping him alive very nicely. Spin comes out from the Jug. He's trying to get himself away. He knows that without having that Omnislash available, surviving is not going to be easy. The Pug barely escaped the clutches of that Boros strike from the Sand King, and looks like Shackle is going to be fine for now. They have another patient available, but they get the taunt on him with the axe, and that is the end. As Ghostlick doesn't care about having low HP, he will go for anything.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Coughing is annoying, man. Having a sore throat feels bad, man. Alright, well, Another good fight for the side of Empire. They get just one little kill, but they get a kill in the puck, they secure the Aegis, and they force the Omni Slash to be used. So the next minute's time, the Omni Slash is not going to be available from the side of Comanche, and no Omni Slash, I mean, when you're 23,000 net worth behind, I'm pretty sure you need everything that you can get to win a fight. So every spell needs to be available. The Medusa is trying to go for an MKB at this point. You might even consider going for Rapier. The only reason you wouldn't try and get a Rapier at this point is basically the fact that the TA has evasion, so Rapier is not really a value item unless you can get the maximum amount of damage out from it. So MKB is like, you know, the next big YOLO item that you can think about. And let's see, TA is forced to use his BKB in the mid lane, doesn't take any chances. X marks and cast in the face and whatnot, so he rather just wants to use the BKB and then survive. I mean, it's just a cooldown at this point. He doesn't have any more value seconds left on the BKB, so it's nothing but a 60-second cooldown. Alright, Sand King. Almost a 4-star as well. 400 gold away. Lifesteal does have his ult available. Now he's going for the bot lane himself. That makes sense. This is another very big late game damage item for a hero like Lifesteal. You already have so much tankiness with the AC and the Sanjin Yasha, so it's just all about getting damage and killing the enemy heroes at the moment. And let's see how they can do that. Glimpse back on the Medusa, just trying to give a little bit of space for that Lifesteal to do his work on the tower. Popping his rage, bringing the tower down to about half HP before backing up. In the meantime, in the mid lane, that is an Omni Slash being used and actually securing a kill on the jug from the jug on the axe. Not that often you see an axe being solo killed in that situation, but I guess just got outplayed. Didn't see it though. Whoops.
Blessings.
Ready, guys? Let's see. This is the final push, the final go. Cheese available on the Lifesteal. They're ready to do it. They have the Aegis and the Tia for a little bit longer. So let's see. Are they going to be able to do anything? That's an interesting infest bomb to test the creep wave, but either way, the TA almost took down the tower. Just chipping it down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A lot of damage, but it's not enough. The Aegis and the TA will be popped very quickly. Actually, goes back pop this right to the moment. And let's see the Juggernaut is going to be fighting up against the TA. The TA trying to survive in the backline attack and went into the epicenter. Didn't get any kills though. It looks like everyone is going to be fine so far, but the puck is taken down as the ulti comes out and the sees him in control. The Axel's in for a call. And does he get it off? Yes, he does get it off on the counter. And the Medusa gets control. In the meantime, gets healed up in the air, gets turned away. The Rax gets taken down. The TA goes in, takes down whatever he can bring with him, and he will blink himself away, try to escape the Medusa. GG gets called as the Rax is gone, and that is Mega Creeps. 3 people being dead. So Comanche, they know that taking another fight after Empire go back and buy the next set of items is not going to be happening. They just GG out now already. There's a lot of games to be played for every team today and tomorrow in the TS regional, so you might as well save